Beauty is something that throughout history many people from different cultures have wanted to achieve by being guided by the ideals or standards of beauty. The consideration of someone or something as beautiful, attractive, or desirable is established on the basis of certain characteristics and canons integrated within each culture. This time will be focused on beauty in South Korea, a country known for its strict standards in this area, from famous artists or the well-known idols to the ordinary person that tries and strives to follow these ideals. In fact, they relate beauty to success and happiness, which means that if you have a more attractive face, you will have a better job and social expectations.
South Korea has an extensive market for skincare and makeup products. They offer everything from skin whitening products to glue for double eyelids, like the Westerns. The concern for the skin is so important that they have a facial care routine that consists of 10 steps to be performed in the morning and at night. Historically, brown and wrinkled skin has been associated with the lower social class and farm workers, so having a white and smooth skin was or is synonymous of greater economic power. Of course, the face is not the only thing that matters to them, and although the country's diet is considered quite healthy, there are some people who don't conform to that and follow a strict and dangerous diet in order to achieve the ideal weight according to the standards.
In social networks, there are tables circulating that show the weight that Koreans should have according to their height. For example, according to the chart, a woman who is 5 feet and 2 inches should weigh 42 kilograms, while data measured by BMI establishes that the healthy weight for this height is between 43 and 58 kilograms. Since 1999, plastic surgeries have become a social phenomenon in South Korea. Such is the success of this that the country has been positioned as the 7th country with most surgeries, next to the United States, Brazil, and China. Many people in the country undergo surgeries, such as abdominoplasty and liposuction, if they cannot achieve their weight through diets. But they also undergo surgeries to create a double eyelid, to have a thin nose, and to have a V-shaped face.
The market of the surgeries is so big that now exists the called plastic surgery tourism, where people from other countries travel to South Korea just to get their surgeries. It has been so popular that they have become more economical and accessible. Parents also give their children a surgery as a present for their graduations and good academic performance. The article "Plastic Surgery Boom as Asians Seek Western Look" in the CNN newspaper explains, in the words of Dr. Kim Byung-gun, chief of the largest plastic surgery clinic in Seoul, how more and more young people are coming to his office because they want to have nice Western faces.
He also speculates that these surgical processes can bring a return on investment of up to 100 times as much, since it will guarantee them a better job and a better spouse. South Korea is definitely one of the countries where most cosmetic surgery procedures are performed in the world. While both men and women undergo these interventions, the number of women who do this is much higher. According to the Korean Association for Plastic Surgeons, in 2008 the percentage of cosmetic treatments performed on women between the ages of 20 and 50 was 30%, while in 2010, 50% of men had undergone cosmetic surgery.
And this is due to globalization. With this phenomenon, Korean society was adopting values of the Western world. Magazines like Vogue began to be marketed in the country, providing new standards of beauty. One study found that Korean advertising used images of Western models in ads that could be considered as sexy or erotic, while advertising of appliances or household items used images of Korean women. Because of this, Korean women's body began to be catalogued as inferior and less desirable, and the body with the ideal of perfect beauty was a white Western woman. Being undervalued with respect to their physique, Korean women began to feel socially pressured to change or retouch part of their bodies.
But in a consumerist society as Korea is, makeup was not enough, so they began to opt more for surgeries, with women being the big consumers of this market. That is why in the last decade many Korean women have decided to make a change in their lives and become the protagonists of it. That's how a new movement emerged in this country called Escape the Corset, a term that was inspired by the women's liberation of the corset during the 19th century in the West. Escape the Corset is based on women being able to find their own freedom and happiness, outside of social standards and pressures. But it's also seen as a way to fight against patriarchy and sexism, since South Korea is a very misogynistic and sexist country.
Lina Young, a professor at Chungang University in Seoul, says, "The movement does not only aim to change the sexual objectification of women, but also change the status of women as subordinated to men. As a result, we're not only seeing a change in makeup and cosmetics, but also in the way that women dress. This also means having more opportunities for women to grow as persons and focus on their own professional future. In South Korea, it's quite common for women to marry, have children, and become a housewife, so going to college or start working is sometimes not the best option for them. In society, it has reached to the point in which being able to get a good job and a good job position also depends on your physical appearance.
It can be very complicated if don't you look like society says, if you are not beautiful or thin enough, or if your skin is not clear. It will be even difficult to get job interviews because when you present your resume, you have to include a photo of yourself in it. Most women in South Korea feel very insecure about their physical appearance since they're very young. That's why they start wearing makeup at an early age. They feel ashamed to go outside without wearing it, and when their facial features make them feel insufficient, they resort to surgery. For example, among school children and teenagers, it has become almost a rule to wear makeup, and if you are not part of that, they can leave you aside.
Bambi Girl, a Korean YouTuber who used to create content about makeup, said that on occasions when she did not wear makeup and went out for working or hanging out with friends, people thought she was sick or had no manners. This is how many women and teenagers, already tired of oppression, have shared their experiences through different social networks, sharing their makeup, cutting their hair, quitting diets, and changing their clothing styles. This in order to find themselves, have free time, relax, and even eat well. And of course, feeling safe for who they are and appreciating themselves. And all the money and time they spend looking good and fitting in society, they now use it to be free and love themselves.